Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring your Nichols Worth. And today from Catholic Bible Press, the NRSV-CE Illustrated Bible hit shelves yesterday all over America. And I know a lot of people were highly anticipating this thing. And I'm going to tell you what, they gave you every bell and whistle from the box all the way to what's on the inside. Now you can see this is a beautiful Cowhide, genuine leather, overboard, so it's a hardback, but look at that. It has even an image, gold gilding. Look at the spine. 4 raised hubs, even a little bit of artwork there. Gilded, the back, gilded. Now, I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they wouldn't put the ISBN number on the cover, but I'd prefer them put it on the inside liner just because that just kind of looks manufactured to me, but I guess that's what this is. So anyhow, as we look at the Bible itself too, really nice. Look at that. Now this one's a little wrinkled, but I tell you what you can do is you can take like a cool iron, put a towel around that, a little moist, and and it'll take those wrinkles right out of that. No problem at all. It does have a nice synthetic liner. It does appear to have some reinforcement tape in here, so that's actually nice. One thing we cannot overlook is check out that gilding. That has to be the most unique and absolutely flawless gilding job I've ever seen. It's not wavy at all. It's perfect. So really amazing job. And also this fancy gilding is on the cheaper option that has the Leathersoft, that is a soft cover. So now let's take a look at the layout. Okay, and you will notice it is really heavy with images in the book of Genesis. And the reason for this is this was taken from a 1500s Latin Vulgate. And what's interesting is they had to move some of the images around to kind of disperse them a little better because they were so concentrated in the Gospels and so concentrated in the book of Genesis. So you're going to be rewarded with images page after page after page in Genesis. One of them that is considered somewhat controversial is one in the beginning of Genesis because it is an image of their idea of what God would look like, which we know isn't the case. But it is interesting that they elected to use that. And again, look, there's just images everywhere. And that is right here. Okay, this is God creating the earth. And I can definitely see how that could make some people uncomfortable. But this is a paragraph layout, so it is not a verse by verse. So this is not going to be a reader-friendly Bible. And it's got a nice, readable, comfort print font. Another thing that's really cool about this is look at the end of some of the letters. And this isn't in your normal ESVs. It kind of has a swoof in there. And then you will also notice in some places where there's an S and a T together, they kind of connect them. I'll see if as we're traveling through this thing, we can find one of those situations. But this thing is just absolutely beautiful. And what's really cool about the pictures is they place them throughout the text. And sometimes they will use them as cross-references, which is really slick. They do that a lot in the Psalms and even in the New Testament. They'll kind of reference it back to an Old Testament reference. There's King Solomon writing what would probably be the Psalms, placed in Psalms. So it's really just a beautifully done Bible, just from cover to cover. You have the poetic settings. The one thing is I wish it was in a different translation than an NRSV because it's not my main reader, but if you like the NRSV, then you definitely got something going here. And check out the margin spaces. When there's no illustrations, that is 1.5 inches of margin space that you can take notes in and write in. It's just absolutely stunning. And you will notice in the middle of the Bible, it is a little lean on images. They did move some of them around because they wanted to kind of spread them out a little better. And of course, Obadiah. Not every book has an introductory image like this, but several of them do. And we have Jonah, of course, being swallowed by the great fish. And then moving into the New Testament, you will notice in the Gospels, the images kind of pick up again. And this is just beautiful. I think this is 100% an outstanding layout. And the fact that they use these images in the Psalms and sometimes in the New Testament and sometimes in the prophetic books as kind of cross-references. And that's because they, again, when they moved them around, they had to find a way to kind of tie them into where they were moving to. So they chose to use them as a cross-reference. But this thing's beautiful through and through. Just absolutely amazing. When you get to the end, there is a little bit of a concordance and there are no maps. Oh, actually, there are maps. It has, I'm going to assume, the Zondervan maps or the Thomas Nelson maps. I'm not sure which end of the publishing wing has these, but I'm going to assume they're very similar to most of your Thomas Nelson Zondervan maps, which are essentially the same anyhow. So anyhow, It is really nice. Now, the one thing about this thing, it is also really expensive. This one you can get on christianbook.com for $136, so that is a bit pricey. So if this is out of your price range, because it is a hardback, some people may kind of balk at the fact that it's so expensive, but you have to look at the decor. And as far as Catholic Bibles, this is the best Catholic Bible I have ever held. Sewn binding, just beautiful. So if this is out of your price range, what I would recommend is just go ahead and get the Leathersoft version, and it's going to have the same illustrations, it's going to have the same gilding, and it's under $60, so it may be a little bit more affordable. But this thing is nice. Look at that, it's perimeter stitched on a hardback. That's pretty impressive. So they really went all out on this, and there's been a lot of clamor for good Catholic Bibles. And while I'm not a Catholic, I do appreciate the history of the Catholic Church, and I definitely appreciate this has the extended deuterocanonical books in it, along with the images that go along with it. So this is really nice, and I highly recommend it, but it is a bit pricey. So consider that as you go to purchase this. Meanwhile, keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholas Worth.